Hey everyone, today we are digging into something that's at the absolute core of every single solar power system. And that's the question, how efficient is your inverter? Like, for real?
I mean, think about it for a second. You spend all this money on a solar setup. You see that big, shiny percentage on the box. But is that really what's happening? Let's find out.
So, the manufacturer might claim this amazing 98% efficiency, but then there's this little voice in the back of your head wondering, what am I actually getting? Could it be something closer to, say, 85%? That huge difference is exactly what we're going to get to the bottom of.
And that brings us right to our first big topic, the efficiency myth. See, that number on the box, that peak rating, it's only achieved under absolutely perfect lab conditions, not real-world conditions.
This really puts it in perspective, right? The lab has this perfect steady temperature, a super stable load. But your house? No way. It's totally dynamic. The sun ducks behind a cloud, you kick on the AC, the temperature is all over the place. And all of that stuff messes with how well your inverter actually works.
Okay, so how do we cut through all that marketing noise and find out what's really going on? Well, we turn to the science. Let's break down how efficiency is actually calculated. This is the key to everything. You know, it all boils down to this really simple formula. Efficiency. That's the little Greek letter eta. It's just the AC power you get out of the inverter divided by the DC power you put in, and then you multiply by 100 to get a percentage. It's basically asking how much of that awesome solar energy actually gets to your stuff. And really, this shows just how simple the whole idea is. We're not going to get bogged down in crazy math. All we have to do is measure two things: the DC power coming in and the AC power going out. That's it. Simple.
All right, so we've got the theory down, now for the fun part. Let's head into the lab and see how we put this into practice with a real test.
So the method we use is called a step load test. First, we get a super precise measurement of the DC input. Then, we hook up a variable AC load and measure what's coming out. We crunch the numbers using that formula we just talked about, but here's the really important part. We do this over and over again at different load levels, starting at a tiny 10%, going all the way up to 100%. This lets us map out a whole performance curve. And for good measure, we even check how much power it's using when it's just sitting there doing nothing.
So, we ran the whole shebang on a pretty standard inverter, and the results? Yeah, they tell a very interesting story about that so-called peak efficiency number.
Get this. At just 10% load, like when you're just running a few lights and charging your phone overnight, the efficiency was a measly 82%. That means a full 18% of your power is just vanishing as heat. That's a huge loss.
But then, as we cranked up the demand to 50% load, things started looking way better. The efficiency shot up to a really respectable 94%. You can already see that performance curve starting to form.
And there it is. Once we got to 90% load, we finally hit that peak number, 97.5%, which, is pretty darn close to what the manufacturer claimed. So the big takeaway here is that, yeah, the 98% number is real, but you only get it when that inverter is working its tail off, near its absolute max.
Okay, hang on. Before we go any further, I have to stop and get really serious for a minute. Doing these kinds of tests means you're playing with high-power electricity. And I'm not kidding. The dangers are extremely real.
Let me be crystal clear about this. High-voltage DC, the kind coming from solar panels or a battery bank, does not give second chances. It can absolutely be lethal. This is not something you should ever mess around with unless you are a trained professional with the right gear.
Now, if you're a pro, you already know the drill. Insulated gloves, eye protection, always. Proper grounding and isolation procedures are a must. And for absolutely everyone else, never, ever, ever touch a grid-tied system yourself. That is a job strictly for a certified electrician. Seriously, just treat everything we're talking about here as for your information only.
Okay, now that we've covered that super important safety stuff, let's circle back and connect all this data to what it actually means for you. It's time to talk about the hidden costs, the money you're losing from that lost efficiency.
Remember that very last step in our test, the idle power? Well, that's the energy your inverter is using all day, every day, just to be on. It's like a little energy vampire, a phantom load, always sipping power from your system, even when nothing else is running. And look, a few watts here and there doesn't sound like a big deal, right? But just watch how this adds up. Over a single day, you won't even notice. Over a month, maybe you'll see a little blip. But over the 10-year life of that inverter, whoa.
That tiny constant trickle turns into a whole lot of wasted energy and real money right out of your pocket. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? When you add up the lower efficiency at light loads, plus that constant idle drain, all these little invisible losses, they just stack up over time into a real tangible cost. Knowing how your system really performs, now that's power.
So there you have it. We've peeled back the sticker on the box and looked at the real data. It's pretty clear that one little number doesn't even begin to tell the whole story. So that leaves just one final question for you to think about. What's the real story of your system's performance? Thanks for digging into this with me.